Audi has managed to keep this car looking fresh for its age, with the new grille there, and then of course their new current headlight design there. This one has the 20-inch rims, which is just, looks like something a concept car would have. Even though I'm not a huge proponent or fan of this color, this is just a really pretty understated car. It is, driven by a grandma, but we're going to see in a little bit if it has sporting intentions. Then here in the back, that probably is the side a little bit, but with those rims that keeps it fresh. But the back is probably for the most part what dates this car the most. But what I do appreciate style-wise here is the kind of how they have a kind of a built-in spoiler. So this car has aged very, very well. As you can see, this model has the Quattro, which is great, but the 2.0T, which we'll talk about right now. So I'll get right to it, guys. This particular model has the 2.0T, and it's not the same one as an RA4, which, what do you think of that engine in, the 2017 A4?
I love it. It's fast. It has really good pickup.
I always say with that new engine in the A4, getting the front wheel drive it's too much power for front wheel drive, and you need Quattro. Let's see how bad this car is. I'm gonna pop it in sport mode. Let's roll. Wow. Audi has done an amazing job. It has a little bit of thrust. I mean, it got up to about 30 there with like no problem. So that's what it's all about, seamless photography. All right, let's take a look at that engine in there. You can definitely tell with this being the 2-liter version there that there is plenty of room for the larger engines, which I would say are coming, which is usually what I say when I get early versions of a car, but are there. There's the 3.0. We're more zoomed in. I was having some wide angle lens issues earlier. Don't you hate when that happens? Anyway, but yeah, this car does really have some great pickup. I actually can pull it out of sport mode. I thought I'd need that, but the way I guess they've tuned everything, it doesn't feel as underpowered as I thought. I wouldn't say it's fast, but it's totally adequate. The last A6 I drove, same generation as this car, didn't have the exterior upgrades and some of these interior upgrades. So they have put a more modern steering wheel than the original of this generation A6 on there. Really nice, surprisingly high definition screen in the middle. Much like the seat controls here, even they have chrome accents around them. I'm a fan of the wood in this car. So there's that line there, but then it extends right up all along here as well, and just goes all the way across there, and just gives a super cohesive theme. Like, that is where this car still has the current, even the new A4B, even in its current generation, just is every little thing about this interior. Mercedes is the only company I know of that's like a mass market company that used to, on the CL case, run a piece of wood from here all across the dashboard, around and over to here, and that just was one of the nicest little interior bits on and then this was so modern at the time. Now you have displays and pads you can write on, but this let you key in like your radio's number. I went to go try to clean the screen there, but this is actually pretty cool. That is rain, cascading down there, which is awesome. Of course, Audi side assist, which is blind spot monitoring, parking aids, and then no rear cross traffic, though it's just a standard parking backup sensor, and then of course a speed warning, which pretty much any car with a trip computer has. So that's definitely one area where the A4 is beating this car and even the A8. Let's check out the handling. These are great roads for that, like you said. Really like a map picture of like the little loop here. Yeah. I'm gonna take this turn here into their thing just to get that. Wow, that's impressive. Oh, now let me put it in sport mode, because I was like, the steering feels like rubber. And the interior, as we kind of pointed out earlier, is probably the big you know, differentiator between the A4. A lot of the dimensions are similar on the new A4 to the A6, but wow, you really do get like a little lurch in sport mode. They've done an awesome job with that transmission on there, getting that. Now this is kind of the dead end, so I should probably go back that way. Right?
It's one way, but okay.
Oh, please don't come anywhere. Oh, I see it's split there. Steering is still even in dynamic mode. Not sport, but dynamic. Audi made it. It's not that dynamic, to be honest, but yeah, it's, I'll take another turn here with it. Yeah, it's still very light. I just drove the other day the E-Class. I'll link to that video at the end. And you know, I'm pretty familiar with the 5 Series, and I know your uncle has one, and your mom had a 7, which is really just a bigger 5 a while back. How do you think, you know, as a passenger at least, this car compares to the new E?
The E is much more comfortable. It's more, like you said, luxury. I still really like this car. It's comfortable. I mean, the sun's obviously right in her eyes.
Okay, I'll turn here.
Yeah, no, as a passenger, they're both great cars.
Yeah, I will say it's probably not quite as comfortable as that E we took out, just because that one had like the seating, you know, the seating package and all. But it's a very comfortable car, but that's like a given. Not a gibbon, but a given. Do you want to take a quick drive?
Yeah.
Give you a drive? Did you say no? All right. Technology is, of course, the big differentiator. I mean, we haven't seen the next 5 Series yet, and the next A6/A7 is supposed to have the, you know, new Audi, you know, platform for technology, which is, you know, going to be in the A6. So seeing what's in the A4 now, you know, with the virtual cockpit and what Audi's doing, that should be crazy. But yeah, on this one, the technology feels a little dated. They've, with the Google Maps and stuff, they've tried. It doesn't have the Audi cockpit yet. It does have the Google Maps integration in there, which is pretty cool. It's not as cool as it, you know, being all over here, but it's definitely neat having that. But obviously, Audi's just not throwing a bunch of money at it. If you can get like a great deal on one of these, CPO for like a really good price or something like that, I would say go for it. Otherwise, I would just say try to wait out the next A6, because I really do think it's going to be class leading. Because this one is sportier than the new E-Class with the sport package. Like, it's a more engaging car to drive, even with that steering. So the next one should be incredible. If you can get a great deal, I'd recommend it. Otherwise, I'd say, if you don't need all this space and everything that's mostly up here, get an A4. So getting in, how does that feel? It's very nice. I'm just over 5 feet by a bit, but just under 6 feet by a bit too. 2 6-feet people could easily both have room in the front and back on this car. So it's very, very nice back here. Very, very comfortable. Very great. Even with a lot of stuff in there, this trunk it's a little low, which was surprising, but it is very deep and very wide. Ready?
Yes.
And I just, for the build quality on this car, I want to kind of show the doors, how they obviously open really easily, but check this out. Listen, I don't know if that thud came through in the video, but... So until next time, guys, drive on. So yeah, if you can get a great deal on like a CPO one of these, and you know, you're an Audi fan, or you can just get a wicked, what? These, was I doing like that?
Go back in the video and you'll see.